Priyanka Kamlesh, a young woman from Dhar, MP, was murdered after her marriage, shocking her community. The Priyanka Kamlesh murder case in Dhar, Madhya Pradesh, sent shockwaves across the internet. What began as a seemingly normal married life for Priyanka and Kamlesh took a dark turn with a brutal murder. This investigation delves into the details of their lives, the shocking crime, and how the police pieced together the evidence. We aim to uncover the truth behind this perplexing case, exploring the CCTV footage, the investigation process, and the ultimate resolution. The central question remains: what led to this tragic end, and who was responsible? Priyanka, a young woman with aspirations, married Kamlesh, a man who seemed to offer her a stable future. Their wedding, a joyous occasion, was followed by what appeared to be a normal married life. However, behind the facade of normalcy, a disturbing narrative was unfolding. The initial reports painted a picture of a young bride facing marital discord, a common enough scenario, but the reality of Priyanka's fate would prove far more sinister and complex than anyone initially suspected. The discovery of Priyanka's body marked the beginning of a complex investigation. The crime scene, depicted in a grim room, suggested a violent struggle. Police tape cordoned off the area, indicating a thorough forensic examination was underway. The presence of a covered body, marked with evidence tags, underscored the gravity of the situation. Investigators meticulously collected every shred of evidence, from personal belongings to potential weapons, crucial for reconstructing the events leading up to the murder. As the investigation progressed, the police focused on individuals close to Priyanka, particularly her husband, Kamlesh. Interrogation rooms became the backdrop for intense questioning, with officers trying to unravel inconsistencies in testimonies. The image of a police officer diligently taking notes, surrounded by case files and a bulletin board filled with suspect photos and maps, highlights the methodical approach. This phase involved cross-referencing alibis and scrutinizing relationships to identify any motive or opportunity. The investigation revealed a complex web of relationships and financial entanglements. Evidence, including jewelry and personal items, began to surface, suggesting a motive beyond simple domestic disputes. The image of an antique wardrobe and a metal trunk might allude to hidden secrets or possessions that played a role in the case. Police examined potential hiding places and searched for any items that could link suspects directly to the crime, piecing together a timeline of events. The breakthrough in the case came through a combination of forensic evidence and witness testimonies, leading to the identification of the perpetrator. The final images show the accused being presented, and a police official addressing the media, signaling the closure of the investigation. The case highlights the dedication of law enforcement in solving intricate crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice, even when faced with challenging circumstances and deceptive appearances. The first layer is context. Every documentary story begins before the moment people remember. There is a setting, a chain of decisions, and a public reaction that shapes how the event is understood. In the case of Priyanka Kamlesh murder case, Dhar MP, the important thing is not only what happened, but why the surrounding details made people pay attention. That is where the story begins to move from a simple summary into something more useful. It asks us to look at timing, location, pressure, and the way one moment can represent a much larger pattern. The second layer is what people often misunderstand. A single image or short clip can feel complete, but it usually leaves out the forces around it. Viewers see the result, not the build-up. They see the most dramatic frame, not the quiet details that made it possible. That gap matters because it changes the meaning of the story. When we examine Priyanka Kamlesh murder case, Dhar MP carefully, we are not just asking what is visible. We are asking what is missing from the first impression. Then comes the turning point. This is where the story stops being only about one scene and starts pointing to a bigger question. Why did this particular moment stand out? Why did people share it, debate it, or return to it later? The answer is usually not one simple fact. It is a combination of emotion, uncertainty, and recognition. People respond when a story feels specific, but also familiar enough to connect to something they already care about. Another important detail is the human tendency to look for a clean conclusion. We want a final answer, a clear lesson, and a single explanation that ties every loose end together. But strong documentary stories often resist that. They leave us with evidence, competing interpretations, and a reminder that public understanding is always incomplete. That does not make the story weaker. It makes it more honest. So what value can we take from Priyanka Kamlesh murder case, Dhar MP? The value is not just the event itself. It is the pattern around it. It shows how quickly attention forms, how easily context disappears, and how important it is to ask better questions before accepting the easiest version of a story. That is why stories like this continue to matter after the first wave of attention fades. In the end, Priyanka Kamlesh murder case, Dhar MP remains worth examining because it sits between fact and interpretation. We can see enough to understand why it matters, but not always enough to close the case completely. And that open space is where documentary storytelling becomes powerful. It does not tell us what to think. It gives us a clearer way to look. The Priyanka Kamlesh murder case serves as a stark reminder of the hidden complexities within seemingly ordinary lives. While the immediate perpetrators were brought to justice, the underlying societal issues that may have contributed to such a tragedy warrant continued reflection. Exposed delves into real-life mysteries and investigations, offering detailed analyses of criminal psychology and true crime stories. If you're interested in understanding the darker aspects of human behavior and the intricacies of criminal investigations, subscribe to Exposed.